Hey everyone! In this video, we're going to be going over how to graph a linear function if it's been given to you in the form y equals mx plus b. Let's go ahead and get started with an example. We're going to start off with y equals 2x plus 1, which mimics this y equals mx plus b. If this is your first time doing this, then we're going to start with the b value because the b is the y-intercept. And what that means is that this little number that's added on extra is always going to be the value that we cut through this big vertical line. So the first dot that you can always make on your graph, on your paper, is a dot right there on this vertical line at the b value. In this case, plus 1. M, the number in front of the x, is slope. And m is how much you go up each time we go over 1. That's it. That's what slope is for. And we're going to do some fancy shenanigans with fractions here in a moment, but for now, that's the rule that you can go by. Whatever number's in front of the x is what you're going up by. So from our little dot that we made, start at the dot. Don't start back at the axis. Start at our dot. We're going to go up 2, because that's the number in front of the x. Up 2, 1, 2, and then over 1. Bloop, and we make a dot. And the great thing about drawing straight lines is that we really only need 2 dots in order to connect them. So what we end up with is something that looks like this. We get a line, and I put a little arrow at the end of it, and we get a line, and I put a little arrow at the end of it. And that just shows that it goes off into infinity and beyond. And that's how we do y equals 2x plus 1. In our new example here, once again, it's written in the form y equals mx plus b. We can see that our b value is equal to 4. And we remember that that's our y-intercept, which means the value that we start on this vertical line. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go ahead and make our first dot. The m value, the number that's in front of the x, in this case, is -3. So we can write m equals -3. And you might be thinking to yourself, ooh, it's a -3. How do we go up -3? And if you're thinking to yourself right now, that would be down. You would be correct. Because if the m value is negative, instead of going up 3, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3. And just like before, the rule is whatever you go up or down, you then move to the right 1. Just like that. Now that we have 2 dots, we can go ahead and connect those dots. Just like this. Put a little arrow. Back up this way. Put a little arrow. And that's our linear function. We drew a straight line. All we needed to find was the b value to know where to start, and the m value to know how much we're going up or down. Let's go ahead and try some with fractions. Now we've got an example up where the number in front of x is not a whole number, it's a fraction. But let's start with the b value. The b value, which is our y-intercept, is equal to -2. We head over to our axes over here, and we simply count from the origin down 1, 2, and we make a dot. That's our y-intercept. Our m value, our slope, is 2/3. Now, I'm going to tell you, I knew there was a shenanigan coming. It's actually true. You could go up 2/3 over 1, up 2/3 over 1, and you will get the correct answer. You will. You can do that. But when you get a fraction like this, rather than trying to go up 2/3 and over 1, there's a neat little trick where the number on top is how much you go up by, and the number on bottom is how much you go over by. And some people will call this the rise over the run as a way to remember. But it just means instead of trying to go up by 2/3 and then over by 1, that you can just go up by 2, over by 3. You'll get the same answer, but one of them's a lot easier to visualize. So in this case, we can go up from our dot, not from the origin, from our y-intercept, from this b value. We're going to go up 1, 2, and then we're going to go to the right 1, 2, 3, and we're going to make a dot. At which point we have 2 dots we can go ahead and connect those and draw our line. And that's how we deal with fractions. I'm going to do one more example with fractions, and then we'll have done about enough. In our last example here, we once again have a fraction in front of our x, but just like before, we're going to start with this b value. In this case, our b value equals 6. Always start by finding that y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make a dot. That is the first point you should ever be making on one of these grids, and then every other point you make after that comes from here. One of the most common mistakes that I see is people go back to the origin and then do the slope. The slope has to happen from this y-intercept. In this case, our slope is -1/3. Just like before, you could try and go down 1/3 over 1, down 1/3 over 1, down 1/3 over 1. You'll get the same answer, but it's actually easier to go down 1 and then over 1, 2, 3. That's the advantage when we have fractions. Remember, that's our up. In this case, it's a negative, so it's a down, and the number on the bottom, our denominator, that's our over. Now that we have our two dots, we can go ahead and connect those, draw a little arrow, we can go out this way, draw a little arrow, and just like that, those are 4 examples of how we can graph a linear function, a straight line, using b as our y-intercept and m is our slope, so that we know how much to go up or down as we go over. Good luck with graphing linear functions. I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions at all or any problems that you'd like me to look at, please feel free to leave a message in the comments below. Thank you very much.